Hi, thanks for watching. Pastor Justin Roberts. I just want to do a quick review of the earthquakes. Haven't done a video or posted pictures recently because there hasn't been much going on, to be honest. But I just want to do a quick update so you are up to date and know what's going on. Here we have records that I took last night. Here you see a number of 10, which, as you can see, compared to the other numbers, we have 11, 12, 14, 13. So this is lower than it has been in the past weeks. This number is taken from USGS, sorry, United States Geological Service. And this is the amount of dangerous earthquakes which happen in a 30-day period. So at the moment, it's still at 10. That can change at any point. The recent earthquakes, there was one in Canada, just above there, 4.8, but it depends on the location, whether it is dangerous to life or could cause damage to property. Then you have a 4.4 California. Literally, these were yesterday, Canada and California. So that would give you the sense that within the past couple of days there has been a slight increase in the earthquake activity. Although these earthquakes in these areas, they only need to be small to be considered a red alert, as per what I just said about dangerous to humans or dangerous to buildings. And of course, Oklahoma, then there's another 10 is the number of the red alert earthquakes. Now, that being said, we can see there's been 4 in the last 7 days. So there's been 4 red alert earthquakes in the past 7 days. And of course, you can compare that to other numbers from previous weeks, and you will actually see that there is a slight increase in the short-term period, i.e. within a week. We have had more earthquakes in the past 7 days than we have for the last month and a half. Now here we have a graph showing these details. At the top here we have the numbers for the red alert dangerous earthquakes for the past 30-day period, the last 30-day period. As we can see, our new data in here comes up to 10, which is correct. And the bottom line in blue is the earthquakes per 7 days. So we can see our higher number of 4 quakes in the past 7 days. But compared to our long time perspective, here we see when earthquakes are high because of heavenly bodies, we could see, over 20. At the moment, we're about 8. So, I mean, we are really at a mediocre. We're not at a seismic minimum of 4 or 5, but we're kind of mediocre, floating around this medium range where no real heavenly body is pulling on the earth to cause earthquakes. So you would say we are in a state of being normal. And here is why the earthquakes were higher during the past 2 months. Is because Saturn was coming for the backside of the sun, exactly around here, the 31st of November. Yeah, so right here, yeah. Saturn was here, and it pinged it. Saturn was at the backside of the sun, and the energy was transferred to the Earth, which caused the earthquakes. And here you see the gentle ramp up, and now you see it slowing down. But interestingly enough, this is the trend line here, and interestingly enough, it doesn't seem to be going down the way it came up, which is always something to watch. This is why it's good to make graphs, and this is why as you can see from these dates, this is why I keep daily records and I keep weekly records. But like I said, my weekly records that I'd kept for nearly 2 years now were lost when a computer failure but it's a good thing that we kept visual records through the ministry, that we are able to look back at all the data. And in fact, I could recreate this graph if I wanted to. Now, this is the state of play at the moment. We see this is the average per month. This is basically all the data readings from 1 month. They're all added together, divided by themselves, so that you come up with an average for that month. And as we can see, this is the year that Saturn pinged us. This is the month that Saturn pinged us, and here we are now in the end of December. Here's our trend line, which kind of like is a guesstimate. But what's really interesting about what I'm seeing at the moment is, you see these as an example, they're all around the six mark, 6, 7, maybe a bit less, all around the 6 mark. Now these are like minimums when nothing is happening, when planets aren't conjoining to ping Earth to cause earthquakes. But here's the well, not alarming thing, but it's interesting to watch, that after June, July, these have never really dropped down. You can see August, September, October, November, December we're in now. I mean, we're slightly lower than we were in November, but remembering that November was the month that Saturn was transferring its energy to the Earth from the backside of the sun. So as like a general overview, I would say that we are just we're sitting in a normal state, but we are sitting in a elevated state of normality. The numbers should be slightly lower in a normal state, but it's the opposite, as if they're rising all the time. You see this line, so something to watch. A heads up. And also a quick reminder that on January the 14th, 2016, that Mercury is conjoin. It'll be passing between the Sun and Earth. So this will be a watch period. Here I put plus 7 days, but the peak time should be around the 14th of January. So this will cause the earthquakes to rise.